Testing 1 2 1 2. You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yes, back in Europe. Back with an opportunity to get back into winning ways. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea are playing Panathinaikos in the Europa League conference with their B team. Some exciting inclusions in there. Young Shiv, how do you say his name? Shiv Mweka, superb 17-year-old striker who's just literally turned 17 on Sunday. Will be travelling and playing, hopefully playing in the Chelsea game tomorrow. Very, very exciting indeed. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere away in Greece. They got some hella wild fans out there, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to speak about that today. Look at Panathinaikos, see what them silly man are up to. See what we think, who we think will play. Chelsea have announced who's travelled and stuff. I haven't watched the Maresca presser. I was going to watch it, but man's always friggin' late, and we've had this, the information released about the squad, so we can talk about who we think will play as well. I do also want to speak to you guys about this. Matt Law's article on Josh Achimpong. Of course, wanted by top elite clubs. A big sort of standoff at the moment with Chelsea about signing a new deal. The Athletic have also written about it as well. This is a relatively short article. Hopefully it will give us the lowdown. Guys, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'll thank you for joining me here on the channel again. Thank you for your sweet love and support. You can demonstrate that by liking and subscribing, hitting the bell if you choose to subscribe. Also, uploading on the second channel, Football Yannick. And by the way, that's my Instagram account, Football Yannick. Should you want to follow me, I did a video today on what's happened to Mason Mount. Is his career over? That's on the YouTube channel, not the Instagram. So do consider following me on those platforms as well. Let's get into it, shall we? All right. We are going to read this. Chelsea seeks solution in Josh Achimpong contract standoff. Matt Law writes this. Chelsea will try and solve the contract standoff with Josh Achimpong after believing a new deal has been agreed with the highly rated teenager. He has been told he will not play for the first team or even the development squad. He will not play for Chelsea after mysteriously renegotiating a new long-term contract that Chelsea believe was ready to be signed. Reneging? Reneging? What does reneging mean? I've just Googled it. Reneg. A back on a promise, undertaking or contract. So he went back on his word. He learned something every day. I thought I was pretty had a strong command of the English language, but there we go. So he's gone back on this new long-term contract. Chelsea were left bewildered when they found out the contract would not be signed, but remain keen to try and find a compromise with the 18-year-old Achimpong, who is highly rated. And by the way, we've heard stories, I've reacted to stories here on the channel, that the likes of Real Madrid and co are looking at him. And we need to be careful, guys, because yes, we've got two elite right backs in James and Gusto, but James obviously often is unavailable, and so is Gusto, and sometimes Gusto needs to play on the other side. We need this young Josh right back fellow. Of course, he can play centre back as well, but he is one that we need to keep hold of, and he'll look at other young fullbacks that have left Chelsea, and Bate is a good example. Who left Chelsea, who wanted the game time, and it didn't go well for him. He needs to sign the contract. So the defender has 18 months left on his current contract and is not expected to play for the first team or the development side while they attempt to solve this standoff. Chelsea are not the only club to take such a stance over a young player who have not committed the long future of their club, but it will nonetheless concern supporters who have followed his progress. Wow. Liverpool, Borussia Dortmund, and even Real Madrid have been linked with Achimpong, who was handed his first Chelsea team debut at the end of last season against Spurs and was taken on the club's pre-season tour of the United States. Chelsea believe they have demonstrated to him that his and other young talented players that there is a pathway. There is a pathway to the first team and willingness to give homegrown talent a chance. He made appearance as a substitute, of course, in the game against Barrow, as did Tyreek George. George, of course, is travelled to Greece. We'll speak about that shortly. Chelsea have declined to comment, but speaking exclusively to the Telegraph last month, of course, Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart underlined their commitment to the club. They said it's really important to bring players through. They referenced Tyreek George as well as Joshua Chimpong, Kieran Dyer's close. And then they've got Shim. So Shim Mweka, I think it's pronounced Mweka, I think I'm going to call him Shim, coming through. Maybe at this point of the time there, when they were saying that, they thought Joshua Chimpong was going to sign that long-term deal. Now, look, he only recently signed this pro contract, which is a couple of years, and they already want him to lock down again. I really hope Chelsea can sort this out with him because he's a big, big player. Liverpool, Dortmund, Real Madrid are looking at him. We've got problems at right back sometimes. We're going to get into Panathinaikos game in just a moment. We don't have a right back for that game. So yeah, we need him, especially if he can play right centre back as well. And he seems like the type of player that could play well for Enzo Maresca. So let's talk about the game, shall we? The champions! I wish. The conference! Let's have a look. This is Panathinaikos. They won away their last game out. They play a 4-2-3-1 formation. I'm not going to pretend for 1 second I know who any of these men are, but this is the shape they play. Utilising all 5 substitutions in their last Super League Greece game, which is, of course, the domestic league. Here it is, right? They are 6th, and they are a big team as well, so it's not going well for them in the league. This is a game we should absolutely win. Yes, it's going to be a strong away atmosphere. Like, it's going to be like, hostile, potentially. Hostile. But, look, let's make no bones about it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what I mean? We should absolutely be winning this game. Let's look at the Chelsea website quickly. So, of course, the likes of Bettinelli, Chilwell, Fofana, Lavia and Palmer have all remained at common. They're not registered for the competition, or at least while it's in the league phase. Colwill, Caicedo, Jackson, James and Gusto have all stayed in England as well. These are players that are eligible to play, but they've all stayed back. Colwill, Caicedo, Jackson, James and Malo Gusto. No right back. Interesting. The squad also includes 4 academy graduates: Bergstrom, the goalkeeper, Samuel Rak-Saki, Tyreek George, who of course we've seen play, is very highly rated, a winger, can play on both sides, and Shim Mweka, who's only turned 17 on Sunday, but is an elite forward, super striker, and he is a player that, of course, the sporting directors have already referenced. Goalkeepers: Sanchez, Jorgensen, Bergstrom. Defenders: Tosin, Badiashile, Cucurella, Axel Disasi, and Renato Vega. Enzo Fernandez, Keenan Dewsbury Hall, Cesare Cassidy, Carney Chukwuemeka, Rak-Saki as well. And up front, we got Noni, Mudryk, Neto, Felix, Nkunku, Sancho, Tyreek George, Gu, and Shim. So we are packing up front, guys. We got some serious fire power, man. So with that being said, we're going to make a starting lineup. Of course, we got to win the game. It's not like, we've tied up the group phase and qualified and we're going to play Shim, Tyreek George and just the kids to see what I want. It's a game we got to win. So let's build a lineup here on Footbin, which is a website I've been using. First of all, I'm pretty damn sure if he's fit, we're going to play Jorgensen in goal. It'll be a welcome sight. Again, Rob Sanchez is catching heat again, isn't he? Just when you think you sort of know what's happening with him, this happens. Renato Vega did come off the bench at Anfield, but he didn't start. I think almost certainly he's going to start here in the left back position, which will mean this is what's going to happen basically, guys. Badiashile did look good at Anfield when he came on. Badiashile, left footer, playing in that role there. We are going to need Tosin to play there, and we are going to need Disasi to play right back, guys. That is a lot of big boys at the back. If we concede any set pieces, I'm going to be very upset, although we seem to concede set pieces all the time. We got some giants in there. You know, we're not talking small, diminutive fullbacks. We're talking a massive centre-back in Disasi and Renato Veiga, who played centre-back for Portugal recently, is a defensive player and is big and strong. That is a strong back line. That's what I want to see. And that's what we've got, guys. Ooh, I mean, I'm wondering... Yeah, that's going to be it, isn't it? That has to be it, surely. Don't call me Shirley. Right, should we try and do everything else then? Mudryk. And he's got to start Mudryk on the left, doesn't he? Mudryk to start. And Neto, who we keep saying the same thing, is banging on the door to become a first-team player, but for the moment he's not, which would of course mean Nkunku will be the striker up top. I reckon we will see... I mean, Mark Gu will be wanting minutes, right? There is a world where Nkunku starts in the midfield and Gu starts up top, but I think for Shim is just coming for the ride. Like, he's not been named in the first team Chelsea squad. It's an experience for Shim to come along and just be with the first team, sit on the bench. Because let's be real, Nkunku's going to start, and then if you need another striker to come on, it's going to be Mark Gu. Gu's, you know, he's gagging for minutes. It's going to be him. He'll get half an hour, probably 20 minutes, half an hour. It depends how the game's going. I mean, if he gets to 80 minutes and we're a goal down, or like, say the worst happens, 70 minutes and we're 2-0 down, and Nkunku's looking tired, there might be some weird, like, parallel universe where Shim comes on for the last 10 minutes and Gu's been on for a while. But I don't see that necessarily happening. I think it's going to be Nkunku for the majority of the game, and then Mark Gu to come on after him. Right, it's a shame Lavia can't play in this game, and Caicedo has been left out, so it's going to be Dewsbury Hall, and it's going to be Cesare Cassidy, my boy, in the most flimsy and unrobust double pivot you will ever see in your life. And of course, he's been put up to the media today. Okay, no. Joao Felix... Where is Joao Felix? What the heck is going on here? 1 second. Because he's listed as a left winger on this. I had to find him a left winger. So there you go. There is our starting lineup. Nkunku, Mudryk, Pedro Neto. In terms of substitutions, I think Mudryk's going to get 90. Maybe Neto comes off late. I don't know. I think he probably will get 90 as well. And Nkunku will get the most of the game until Q comes on. We might see Carney Chukwuemeka come on. That would be very, very welcome sight in the midfield. But I feel like this is an opportunity for most of these players to get like as long as possible, a long time on the pitch, you know, and yeah, because we've got like Mark Cucurella as well. Cucurella obviously is fresh. He hasn't played. You could see a substitution for Veiga who could be utilised off the bench, and you want to, you know, not completely gas out against Newcastle. So we could see Cucurella coming on for Veiga. And yeah, man, I think that's pretty strong. They should beat Panathinaikos away. I'm very excited to see some of these players play, and a little bit light in the midfield still, especially because, you know, Caicedo didn't travel. I mean, Enzo Fernandez, I think he's probably in the squad then. He could play. I mean, he could start. You could really remove, you could do this, remove Cassidy and put in, I suppose, Enzo Fernandez there, and that's suddenly a lot stronger, isn't it? And we, as much as Enzo Fernandez is concerning people this season, probably largely due to form, fitness, and maybe player profile in the Maresca system, we know he's got a really good relationship with Felix, and actually he's in Felix's first stint at Chelsea, he had some really good link-up play with Fernandez. He assisted him a couple of times. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Of course, we should absolutely win this game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how we win it, to be honest, as long as we ruddy win it. I want to see, you know, we could win it by 1 goal or whatever. I don't really care. But I'd like to win it. I'd like to see, what do I want to see do well? Obviously, if Shim comes on, that'd be very exciting. I don't think he will, but I'd love to see. I mean, you know, how happy would we all be if Mark Gu came on and scored a goal? I mean, that would be great fun. I just to be honest, like when it's that many changes, I don't even expect like clean sheets, especially away from home. I just want to see the win and move on. You know. Goals are great. If look, I mean, obviously, guys, if Mudryk scores an away hat trick in Europe, it's going to be a huge story, and that would be great. But for me, it's just get the friggin' win over the line. Let me know what you think, though. Please do leave your comments. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for supporting me and following me on all the relevant channels, which essentially is my two YouTube channels and Instagram. All right, gang. Love you very much. Mwah! See you back here on the channel soon for a match review tomorrow. Peace.